I made some Dubliner cheese sauce to go on top, and here's some parsley. Dinner is served. I'm gonna get my beef nice and brown. All right, now it's time for the mushrooms and the onions. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the mirepoix and the mushrooms. Here's the beef, mushrooms, and the mirepoix. I added sage, shallots, chives, and fresh thyme. Oh, and garlic too. There's some of this. So now that there's caramelized bits at the bottom, I'm gonna add some beer. Now I'm gonna deglaze the bottom of the pan with some of this oatmeal stout. And just scrape it up. Work it. I ran out of beef stock, but I'm gonna use some beef broth instead. It's just as good. I'm gonna put in my Maggi sauce and fish sauce. Now that I've deglazed everything in the pan, and then I added the Maggi sauce and the fish sauce, I am going to reduce the heat. I'm gonna let the flavors marry for about 20 or 30 minutes. And then after those 30 minutes, I'm gonna raise the heat again, and I'm gonna add some more beef broth. So by doing that, I'm developing a double fond. I raised the heat again, and now I'm gonna add some Worcestershire sauce and beef broth. The meat has now taken on a deeper color and the umami, and it's not sticking to the pan anymore. So we've now moved from the fond development stage to the glazing and lacquer stage, which is also known as nappage. So basically, the sugars, the amino acids, and the sauces that I added earlier, they've all reduced and emulsified with the fat. So instead of forming new crust, they're coating the beef, which is now binding the flavor molecules and the caramelized sugars right onto the surface. So it's all nice and harmonious. So that's on high heat right now. Not sticking. That's what we want. Look at how rich that is. And it tastes so good too. I wish I could share it with someone. I buttered up my Dutch oven, and now I'm ready to put my layers together. So on the bottom and on the middle part, I made a wall of mashed potatoes. The reason that I made a wall was because I want to get a really nice crust, and also, while it's building that crust in the oven, it's also providing structure for the meat filling and for the stuffing. So when I go to cut my slices out later, it's not just a floppy mess. See? Kind of like that. Nothing fancy tonight. I usually do love making my own stuffing, but I'm just so lazy. I feel like shit. So here's some stovetop stuffing. Who cares? I have the beef layer all set. Next is another layer of mash, and then the stuffing, and then the cheese on top. The second layer of potatoes is going to act like insulation. So it's going to prevent the stuffing from soaking up all the juices and getting mushy underneath. The final layer is freshly grated Dubliner cheese. I also threw some seasonings on top, and I'm putting it in the oven at 375 for 15 minutes. To top it off, I added some caramelized onions.